Hey everyone, and welcome to week 3. This week we are going to be learning about the battle for the ratification of the Constitution and amendments to the Constitution. You also have your first extra credit assignment due this week, so stay tuned for more about that. Now, before I get started, I did just want to touch base about the welcome survey that you took during week 1. Thank you all for completing that. And I was really glad to hear that most of you haven't experienced barriers to inclusion at Kingsborough yourself. That's great news. And I was also glad to see that many of you were able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and imagine what barriers might exist for others. Now, if you weren't able to identify any barriers to inclusion that exist for you or someone else, I do encourage you to think about your classmates in this class and Kingsborough more generally who have said that they experience barriers to inclusion, and think about why they might experience that and how you can help lower those barriers and make them feel more included. So to this end, there is an extra credit assignment about inclusion this week. I hope you'll take the opportunity to expand your own views on inclusion in the classroom and to let me know if there's anything you or I can do to make this class more inclusive. So when you are ready to get started for this week, you'll head on over to the week 3 module and of course see all the weekly readings, lecture materials, and assignments on there. So this week, as usual, we're going to have a discussion board activity, and the weekly activity actually overlaps with one of our readings this week. Then there's a question for you to answer. The prompt is a little bit more complex than past ones, so please do make sure to read the prompt fully and carefully and answer all the sort of aspects of the question addressed to you. Now, this week, as in addition, there's a quiz, and I did just want to let you know that you can look at your past quizzes, including week 2's quiz, and see all the answers to the quizzes after the deadline for the quiz, which is why I don't generally accept late quizzes, if you were wondering about that. So you can always go back and look at your old quizzes, use them to help you study for the midterm or final, or just generally sort of to increase your knowledge of the topic. Now, extra credit this week. As I've already said, it's about inclusion in our sort of asynchronous classroom. And there's going to be a few slides to look at that are going to be based on your answers in the class welcome survey. And they're going to reflect on the meaning of inclusion and how we can make everyone in this class feel included. And remember that even if you've always felt included at Kingsborough, you can still consider how to make sure that you remain included and how you can help others feel that sense of inclusion too. Now, it's not required, but if you complete it, it will be worth up to 4 points on your weekly discussion grade. Now, it's important to remember extra credit will never, ever hurt your grade. So they are just raw points added. When you see extra credit grades on Brightspace, they are going to look like points earned over points possible. So if you earned a 3 out of 4 on this assignment, Brightspace would show you that you earned a 3 out of 4, which is sort of a 75%. You might be like, I don't want a 75% averaged into my grade. That's okay, because in reality, you earned 3 out of 0, or just 3 raw points added to your discussion grade. So again, extra credit will never, ever hurt your grade. Even if you got a 0, it wouldn't hurt your grade. So just keep that in mind, that there's really no harm in trying these extra credit assignments and just doing your best on them and getting some extra points. Now, this week, my office hours on Zoom are going to be a little bit funky, so head on over to Calendly to see those. And if there are no available times that work for you, feel free to email me and we can either discuss your question via email or we can schedule another time to meet. So have a great week, and I look forward to seeing your thoughts on rights and our amendments to the Constitution.